What's up guys and welcome to FPL Today. I'm the man in the know, JNO, and welcome to my team for Game Week 26, where we go over my transfer thoughts. I know we're doing it before the actual points and performance for Game Week 26, so you can see the type of players I'm considering bringing into my side. So we start off as always with fires that I need to put out in my side. And the talking points on my side this game week are 3 players with a blank game week. We've got Digne, Sane and Aguero. I'd also feel a lot better with Heung-Min Son on my side. And do I keep Digne and bench him for Game Week 27, as well as starting to look towards the players that I could potentially bring in for Game Week 31 and 33 that could make a difference in my FPL rank. But before we get into all those talking points, we do have a quick look at the fixtures where I can look at the sides that potentially have favourable fixtures and also favourable fixtures as far as the blanks go in Game Week 31 and 33. So looking at the fixtures, we can see that there are 2 sides without a blank in Game Week 31 and 33 that I really like the look of, and that is Leicester and Liverpool. Leicester, of course, do have Tottenham in Game Week 26, but as Brett from FPL TV would say, Game Week 27, Leicester have Crystal Palace, Brighton Hove Albion, Watford, Fulham and Burnley, which means they have a favourable fixture in Game Week 31, as well as a good run into that run of fixtures, which I feel like is a good time to bring in a Leicester City player, because of course we don't want to bring in a player for a blank game week when they have unfavourable fixtures and we're detrimenting our point total for that game week. So Leicester definitely looking very interesting, as well as Liverpool. Of course, they do have Man United in Game Week 27, which isn't ideal, but other than that, Bournemouth at home in Game Week 26, Watford, Everton at Burnley and Fulham in Game Week 31. That could be very, very good for us. And Newcastle also have a good run and potentially have blanks in both game weeks with Wolves, Huddersfield, Burnley, West Ham, Everton and Bournemouth. So I'm liking the look of those 3 sides. Also favourable fixtures for Cardiff, Brighton, Wolves and West Ham potentially. But until this Liverpool game just gone, I wasn't really considering any West Ham players. But now potentially with that performance against West Ham, I could be considering them. But right now, Leicester and Liverpool look like the sides I want to look at. I do, of course, already have Robertson and Salah, so there's only one more Liverpool player I could really bring in. But Leicester City, I think, as soon as Game Week 26 is over, a player from their side will be coming into my team. So we look at blank Game Week 27 replacements for the likes of Sane, Aguero and Digne. Now, to be honest, I think it's quite obvious that if I'm swapping out Sane, it's going to be for Son, with the fire to put out being that I'd feel better with Son in my side. But the replacement for Aguero would naturally, of course, be Aubameyang, a straight swap back to him, which I know a lot of people are considering. Now, Aubameyang at 11.2 million has 29 points returned in the last 6. Those returns mainly coming from 2 games. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists, 3 bonus points. He has 16 attempts on goal, 14 from inside the box, 7 big chances, 32.6 minutes per chance, and also has created 7 chances for his teammates, one of those being a big chance. Now, Aguero looks really in form right now, especially in a double game week, getting a hat-trick in the first game. So, is Aguero necessary to swap? The plus side, though, is Aubameyang has a very good fixture in Game Week 27. Compared to Son's potential game against Leicester, you never know what Leicester will turn up. They can be difficult to beat. Whereas Aubameyang has a very nice fixture in Game Week 27. A lot of people potentially owning him and captaining him in that game week. So Aubameyang looks like a player that might come into my side just to kind of cover my bases, but also because Arsenal do have a decent run of fixtures. And then Pereira from Leicester, I have been just going on about how I want some Leicester cover. He seems like the perfect swap for Digne. 20 points from the last 6 games. Those returns coming from 2 of those games. He's managed to get 2 assists and 3 bonus points. He's also had 10 attempts on goal, only 3 from inside the box and 3 on target, but means a minute per chance of 54 minutes, which isn't bad for a defender, and 11 chances created, 2 of which are big chances. So those 2 are the players I'm looking at as straight swaps for the likes of Digne and Aguero. And of course, the man Son is the one I'm considering for Sane. Son is 8.6 million, so he would be an easy transfer in for Sane if I want to get rid of him long term. Now, of course, I would still like some Man City cover for a period of 3 games, which looks very favourable after Game Week 27. But Son at 8.6 million seems like the main man at Spurs right now. He's got 40 points. He's only played in 5 of the games in the last 6, but that was, of course, because of the Asian Cup. but he's returned in 4 of them with 3 goals and 2 assists, 7 bonus points, 19 attempts on goal, 7 from inside the box, 6 on target with 1 big chance. Minutes per chance at 22.9 minutes and also 7 chances created with 2 big chances. Son just looks like a man on fire, really enjoying his football. Probably one of the better players in the Premier League this season, and at his price he is still a bargain at 8.6 million. So I would really like to bring Son back in. Now, depending on how I want to structure my side, that may mean saving money elsewhere. So we are looking at game week 31 and 33 players that I could bring in that could save me some money and could be differentials. So don't take these suggestions as gospel. They aren't the best players in the game, but they could play a role in your season and allow you to have bigger players and still get you some points and hopefully tick that total points forward so you can get a higher rank. Defenders wise, I'm actually looking at Shane Duffy at 4.6 million and Ben Mee at 4.6 million, both just above the 4.5 million mark, but Ben Mee of course was priced at 5 million at the beginning of the season. Now both of these teams now seem to have the potential for clean sheets, and with game week 31 and 33 being game weeks they are probably playing in, they look like they could be good placeholders until I play my wildcard. Now, not necessarily good fixtures after this period of game week 31 and 33, but Duffy at 4.6 million has 22 points returned. 3 of the last 6 games he's got returns in, and he's got 1 goal and 2 clean sheets with 3 bonus points and has decent goal threat as well, as you can see on the graphic there. Whereas Benjamin Mee doesn't necessarily have the goal threat, but again, he has the possibility of clean sheets, especially with Tom Heaton now behind him. Seems like that Burnley defence is a lot more confident. So these 2 players are players I am considering for my side. We then look at game week 31 and 33 midfielders, and I am looking at Maddison, Westwood, McNeil and Stanislas. Now again, I'm not suggesting that these are the best players to bring in. I'm not even suggesting I will bring them in, but Maddison at 6.6 million definitely is a decent price range and has some good underlying stats. Now you could look at Harvey Barnes as well. Very, very cheap indeed at 4.5 million. But Maddison does have some good underlying stats. Only returned 9 points in the last 6 games, however, and that's only from 1 game. So the actual FPL points return isn't amazing, but 15 attempts on goal, 5 from inside the box, 5 on target, 2 big chances with a minute per chance at 22.3 minutes, and 15 chances created in total, 1 being a big chance created every 22 minutes. Those are good underlying stats, and maybe he can return some of the form he had earlier in the season. We again got Westwood and McNeil, both from Burnley again. Westwood at 4.5, McNeil at 4.4. Now, to be honest, I wasn't considering these guys until I looked at the underlying stats and the points returned for them at their price. 28 points returned for Westwood, 23 for McNeil, 1 goal, 1 assist for McNeil, 3 assists for Westwood, and the underlying stats aren't awful. Westwood, of course, bringing a great chance creation with 14 chances created, 6 big chances, whereas McNeil kind of brings a bit of both. 11 chances created with 7 attempts on goal from inside the box out of 14 attempts in total. So both of these look like players, especially if they stay in the Burnley side, that could be great placeholders as that 5th midfielder for you to really bulk up the other positions. And then we have Junior Stanislas. Now, with David Brooks and Callum Wilson being injured, potentially Stanislas could be a very important fixture in your sides. Now, Fraser and Wilson seem to get on really well as a partnership, and Brooks and King seem to be getting that same sort of thing going. But now with those 2 injuries, Stanislas actually has 18 points returned in the last 6 games with 2 assists. His underlying stats mainly lean towards chance creation as well. But if you're looking for a differential, potentially Junior Stanislas could be a punt, whereas Ryan Fraser is probably going to be the most favoured option to bring in. And then we have the game week 31 and 33 forwards, and the ones I'm looking at, Joshua King seems to be relishing the limelight as the main man leading the line at Bournemouth with Wilson's current injury, returning 32 points in the last 6 games. Now, they are from only 2 games in those 6, but 3 goals and 1 assist with 5 bonus points is pretty impressive, with underlying stats of 18 attempts on goal, 17 from inside the box with 9 on target, 5 big chances, a chance every 30 minutes, 8 chances created, 3 big chances created, creating a chance every 68 minutes. Joshua King, of course, we had that period last season around this time where he was just one of those players that was just that good at leading the line and getting points in FPL that potentially you could look at him as a differential. I don't think many people are on Joshua King right now, and of course there is the chance that they do not blank in the double game weeks, which could help you out And I believe after that, they do have favourable fixtures after these blanks. The only problem is the fixtures aren't favourable leading into the blanks. And then we have Firmino at 9.3 million. I'm considering him because he is cheaper than the likes of Aubameyang and Aguero, which is where I could save some money for other positions. 39 points in the last 6, returning from 3 of those games, 5 goals. There was a hat-trick though, so 1 game saw 3 of those goals. 7 bonus points, 14 attempts on goal, 11 from inside the box and 11 on target. 5 big chances with 36.9 minutes per chance. And then we had 5 chances created with a chance created every 103 minutes. So not the ideal choice. I still think potentially Salah and Mane might be the better choices, but you could save some money with Firmino up front. So I'm probably looking at changing Sane or Aguero going into game week 27. I kind of want 2 transfers just before game week 27 because then we'll have learnt the FA Cup fixtures for the quarterfinals, which should confirm the blanks in game week 31. So I'm probably going to only make 1 transfer. Now, Aguero looks in form. If he has a great game against Everton, I am recording this before that game, then potentially I might just keep Aguero in for that Chelsea game and put Son in for Sane. But I do also like the idea of Aubameyang in for Aguero. So if Sane does impress in the Everton game, maybe I'll stick with Sane for that Chelsea game. We'll have to wait and see, but that looks most likely to be the transfer I make. Digne, while I'm not that fond of him right now after a -1 and a -2, still has the potential to return some points in game week 26. And then it's an easy transfer to Ricardo Pereira for me anyway, if I do still want to take him out come game week 27. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But in the comments down below, please leave what moves you are considering to make. And potentially if you want to ask me a question about the move you're considering making, I might be able to answer. So feel free to leave that down in the comments down below. And thank you for watching this episode of my team for game week 26. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and the notification bell so you know when I'm going live. And check out the links in the description down below if you want to find out any more about the channel or support the channel in any way. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.